Hi, welcome to the bookstore this afternoon. What can I do for you? You here to get your college textbooks? I can help you with that. But before we go any further, if you could please lower your voice. Some students are in here and they are working and they would like a more quiet environment. Is that okay? Okay, great. So you said you were looking for your college textbooks? Yeah. Now, to get them, I will be needing your a schedule to look up the courses and see what textbooks you need. You have your schedule with you? May I see it? Thank you. Okay, and I'm just going to run by your courses and make sure that these are correct, right? Okay. So it looks like first thing on the schedule here is Intro to Writing. Okay. American Literature since the Civil War, American History up to the Civil War, Government, and Calculus. Is this all familiar to you? This is what you're taking? Awesome. So on your schedule next to every course, there's a course number, and I'm going to be looking that up, and it'll tell me what textbooks you'll need, if any at all. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to pull up the database here. Okay, so for Intro to Writing, and type in the course number. Okay. So it looks like we do have one copy in stock. Let me go get that for you. So here is your Intro to Writing book. This is the Bedford Guide for College Writers, the 12th edition. This is what you'll be needing for the class. It's pretty good condition, and it's paper cover. Now, when you buy these, when you pay for these books, I should say, were you wanting to actually buy them or just rent them? Okay, well, the difference for renting's obviously a lot cheaper than buying the books, but you do have to return them to us. They are not yours. You're just renting them, and we have written down for each book that all the flaws in it, like if there's any like pages torn or any like the corners are kind of like damaged a little bit. We do have that written down, and when you return the book to us, we'll go through the book and we'll see if there's any new flaws that we don't have written down, and if there are, we're gonna have to have you pay for those flaws. We're gonna have to charge you for that. So if you kind of just if you don't really take care of your books, if you just throw them across the room, then it actually may end up being cheaper to just buy the book. You just don't have to pay so much in charges. And then buying the book, of course, it is a lot more expensive, but they are yours to keep. You can do whatever you want with them. You can tear out all the pages. It's perfectly whatever. They're yours. And you don't have to return them to us, too, of course. And you can sell the books, too. You can sell them back to us, or you can sell them yourself, whatever is more convenient for you, I guess. So were you looking to buy or rent these? You're looking to rent? Okay, that's perfectly fine. So we got the Bedford Guide for College Writers so far. Next on the schedule, we've got American Literature since the Civil War. Okay. I'm going to look at what that is. Put in the course number. Okay. Okay. We do have a couple of these in stock. Let me go get it for you. Here is the textbook for your literature class. This is actually a whole anthology, and there's 3 books in one. This is the Norton Anthology American Literature, 1865 to the present, the 9th edition. And as I just said, it is 3 books. There's the purple, the orange, and the yellow. The purple one is 1865 to 1914. The orange is 1914 to 1945, and then the yellow is since 1945. So I'm assuming you'll be using all the different books in here throughout the semester. And again, this is a pretty good condition, right? This is in like a giant sleeve to sort of hold all the books together. You just slide a book out and start reading it, I guess. So that one, so we got the intro to writing and the literature, and these were both rent. Okay. So the next one we need is American history up to the Civil War. I don't think you need a textbook for that, and I don't even think you need like an online textbook for it either, but I'm going to check anyways. Civil War up to the Civil War, and then the course number. Okay. So you don't need it. There's no textbook for the class. It's all just lectures and notes, from what the information says about it. However, I don't know if this is still happening. I think it is. In fact, yes, it does say it. It does say it right here. There's a book test at the end of the semester. We'll need to read a little book, and we've got plenty of copies of this, and they're really cheap. Actually, I'll just show it to you right now. So here it is. Here's the little book test, or the test over the book that you're going to be reading in the history class. It is the narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass. This is a biography of the abolitionist Frederick Douglass. He was born a slave and then escaped. He's a great American, and this is a really short book, a little novelette. It's like 60 pages, 75 pages. You can literally read this in one night. I mean, like, the text isn't really big, but it's like a pretty easy book. And for the history class, you will have to read this. You can read it whenever you want, but it's probably better to read it closer to the test, just so it's like fresher in your mind. But if you want to read it now and then again later, so it's even easier to remember, you can do whatever. But you will be having a book test over this, I think, on the final, and this is a really cheap book. We actually don't allow people to rent these just because we have way too many of these. We cannot take these back, so you will have to buy this one, but it's really cheap, don't worry. And there was no textbook for that class other than the one for the book test. So we have the Civil War book, and you will have to buy that. It's like what I just said. The next class here is American government. Okay. Let me look that up real quick. Okay, and then put in the course number. Okay. There is a textbook for this class, and we do have it in stock. Just let me go get it. Here is the government textbook. This is We the People, the 12th edition. It's also just a paper cover, like the rest of these so far. This is also a pretty cheap book as well. We've got a lot of these, so we have that book too, American Government, and you are renting all these, yeah, except for the Douglas book, but you can only buy that. Okay. So it looks like here on your schedule, you just have one class left, and it is calculus. Okay, so calculus. A lot of students take this class each semester, and so we have a lot of textbooks for it. The course number. Okay, yeah, we've got plenty of copies of this book. Let me get one down and show you. Here is the calculus book, calculus textbook. This is the James Stewart Calculus 8th edition. I believe your calculus class also supports the 9th edition. The problems in the books are different, but I believe the homework will be like, if you have the 8th edition, do these problems, do the 9th, do these. This 8th edition is cheaper, so that's the one I picked down. Would you like the 9th edition? You're fine with this one? Okay. It's literally the exact same content, it's just that like some of the homework problems are different. And so unlike this one's actually a hardcover. And I believe, I'm actually going to look this up real quick just for you. James Yeah, so if you do actually move on to Calc 2 and 3, this book, you can use this same book for it. So you won't have to like buy a Calc 2 book or a Calc 3 book. You can just reuse this one. So there's that, if you want to go that far. So there's that. Okay, so we got the calculus textbook, and you are renting that. Okay, so looking over all your classes, these books seem to be everything that you'll need for this semester. Let's go ahead and get the total for you. So the James Stewart Calculus 8th edition, let me scan this. Okay, that will be $45. And I'll add this up for you too. Okay. We the People. Scan this one. Okay, and this one was also pretty cheap. It's just $20. The Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass. This one. Okay, and this one's just $5. Told you it was cheap. The Norton Anthology for your literature class. This one is a more expensive one, and of course you are renting it, so it won't be as expensive. So, okay, and this book is $70. So far your total is at $140. And then finally we have the Bedford Guide for college writers for your writing class. So let me scan that too. Okay, and that book was another $30. So your total will be $170 to rent these. And again, you're going to be returning all of them besides for the Frederick Douglass one. You can do whatever you want with that after you're done with it. But please do not give it back to us. We've got too many of those. Now, will you be paying with cash or card? You have card? Okay. May I see, please? Thank you. All right. Looks like it was approved. And would you like a bag for these? Okay. Let me get you a bag. Yeah, I have your bag, and I'm going to put your books in the bag. Okay, and I'm going to take your receipt, and I'm also going to put it in the bag. Okay, so here's your bag. I'm just going to put that on the counter right there. Oh, and let me give you your schedule too. And here is your schedule. Thank you very much. It looks like you have everything you need for your classes for this semester. Thanks so much for stopping in, and have a good semester.